Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm just here, with my little friend, and the fire. I was thinking about God, and I don't believe in it. And I was thinking about how not believing in it makes me feel. And it feels like a negative thing. It feels like a resistance. So I was wondering why. You're gonna burn your tail. I was wondering why. And I thought to myself, oh no, I thought to myself, dude, allow me, stay there. I thought to myself that what if there is a God? And that's why it feels like a negative to not believe it. And then I also thought to myself, well, what if it's the fact that I have a resistance to believing in anything? Like, I refuse to believe it. It's not that I don't believe it, I refuse to believe it. So how can I refuse to believe in something? And why do I refuse to believe in something? Well, because from what I know of it, it doesn't make sense. So I refuse to believe. It's not that I don't believe, I refuse to believe. It's different. Because I've never explored what I actually believe. So there's never been a definitive end to my thought process of God. So I thought I'd do a little exploration of what I actually believe. If there is a belief or not. It's very likely it's just going to be a possibility of, oh gosh, a perspective of a possibility. But anyways, when I thought about this, I had urge. Was I felt like I should record what I do, and I don't know if I'll ever post it, but I was feeling like this is what I should do. So here I am, about to go on this thought process of what do I think God is. Okay. What is God? Well, I know God is not a being and has never been an individual being on this earth. It's not a possibility, because if everything is God, God could not exist in one form outside of itself, inside of itself, because all of it is already God. So nobody is more or less God than the other person. Why do I say this? Well, if, okay, you gotta go like all the way back, right, to go through this thought process, don't you? Okay. We have to go all the way from the beginning. Okay. So, close your eyes. Is it completely black? Is it completely dark? Probably not. You may have to use your imagination a little bit, but imagine complete darkness, absolute nothing, just stillness, absence. It's just black. It has to be black because anything other than black is something. It's creation, right? So the absence is absent of everything. Colors, light. If there's no light, there's no colors. If there's no light, there's nothing, right? So in this absence, what's the only thing that can exist? What's the polarity of absence of darkness? Light, something. And with that something, just like with everything, is a switch of conscious awareness. You have become aware. So from absence, from silence, from stillness, this is why meditation is so good. This is why stillness practices are so good, because it puts you in the space to connect back to that spark of light, that starting point, that endless creation, that infinite. That thing, yeah? So when that spark of light comes and awareness becomes present, and awareness can create with infinite, endless possibilities, every intention that the awareness sets is like a ripple in frequency. That frequency now exists in the fabric of the universe, right? And it's like radio stations. They're all everywhere, but only when you tune into it do you listen to that station. So there are realities like that in frequency. And the awareness, the conscious awareness that goes into those frequencies, that's what we are. The awareness that can experience, the awareness that can create, the awareness that, you know, the awareness that sets you free. Because awareness is the key to setting yourself free. You just have to know what things to be aware of. And that's the process to understand how to utilize awareness. Anyway, so as you go through the process of these frequencies existing throughout the atmosphere, the fabric of the universe, you are an awareness that has tuned into the radio station of your body on this frequency where the earth is in this state, where the people are in this way on the planet. So we're all tuned into where we currently live with our awareness. And when we change our perspective in life, that's when we shift. We time shift is what people call it, but it's just a shift in perspective. We now see the world from a different angle. We're tuned into a different frequency. It's a time shift. It's a different dimension. All of that stuff, right? So that's how they all link up, because energetically that's how it moves. And when you okay, when you understand that everything's a frequency and that there's only one thing that is capable of traveling between those frequencies to experience those frequencies, no matter how deep, how much depth their consciousness has, there's still an aspect of consciousness present in every experience. There's an energy, there's a frequency, and there's a consciousness. The consciousness may not be like what we have because we have free will. This is where we're different than the animals and the plants and all of that, because we have free will. And guess what? Free will is what ruined everything, because we don't know how to be with nature, natural. We don't know how to be human beings because we went through whole survival. Then we went through trying to make it better than what it was before for our kids or our families or this or that. Then countries are trying to make it so that they don't need to go hungry or be fearful of anything again. So everyone's putting all their intention into protecting, survival, all of this. I just said it, survival. No one's thriving because everyone's trying to survive, right? But if you try to thrive as a collective, man, just work together. It's that simple. Work together as a planet. You figure out where it's best to produce the food. You be more conscious of what you're eating. Everyone produces some food for themselves in their own gardens. You plant fruit trees instead of just random nature trees and parks and just all different things, so that there's just more food, more living food just naturally growing. Try and spread people out. Everyone gets to do jobs that they enjoy. And nobody actually has to work, right? Because it's not about money. It's about creating a world of freedom where food is produced in a way that is sustainable. The whole car situation will be complicated, but that's possible too. But it's like just change the form of travel. You have buses going all the time, trains going all the time, and it's just free. So people can get around. Like, yeah, I know it's not that simple, but I'm pretty sure there's machines that can be made for any job that nobody wants to do if the world can put their minds together. I mean, as a whole collective planet, I'm pretty sure we are capable of creating any invention, right? So anything that we need as a civilization, we would be able to create it. May take a little while, but we'll get there. And when we get there, guess what? We have set up the planet in a way that we thrive along with nature. I know there's a lot of things to figure out along the journey, but that's the intention, right? If that's the intention, then it shifts the whole perspective of the planet. Problem is, everyone needs to be on the right perspective to do that. But also, everyone needs to have their freedom. So you can't force things. Anyways, went way off topic there, but back to the God situation. So everything is a frequency that is triggered by the intention of a conscious awareness. That conscious awareness is God, right? Is the creator. But everything has that conscious awareness. And the other thing is, God is not just the conscious awareness, right? Because the energy exists within something. So if the energy exists within something, that something must also be God, right? And then the material world is produced by that something. So that must also be God as well, right? So that means the conscious awareness is God. The energy the frequencies, vibrations is God, and the physical matter is God. So just like with merging oneself, your mind, body, and spirit, I call it energy, the universe is created with those same three aspects: the conscious awareness, the frequency, the vibration, and the expression of that vibration. That's how I personally think everything in existence comes into existence. That's why nothing is physical, because it's all just an expression of energy, and we are in the perceivable version where it all unfolds perfectly for us to experience it in the way that we do. That's why everything is perfectly as it should be for it to be this way, because it has to be this way, because that's the way that we was created to experience it. We didn't just come here by happenstance. We are here because we were supposed to be here, because we was intended to be here. So I believe every single thing in existence, in the material, the energetical, the spiritual, and the conscious realms are the creator, meaning me, meaning you, just everything. Just some of us have more free will, more awareness than the others. Some are only aware how to be, an animal and have the same behavior of survival. And some have the awareness to step out of that and become more conscious of their behaviors and their thought patterns and their intentions in what they want for themselves in life and people around them. And then there's more, right? There's still more, because that's not the end of it. That's one perspective. One perspective is everything is the creator, everything is God. But then there's another thought process, which is there's a process that happens that becomes the creation. So are we supposed to see these aspects as individual things, or are we supposed to see them as one? Because this is something I realized at one point. I was like thinking about, if I'm God, that means I'm the energy. And then I've realized the other parts of the physical body and everything. And it's like all of it is you. You are all of it. Right? And you have to connect to all of it. You have to connect to all aspects of it. The mind, the body, and the energy. Right? When I say energy, I don't know, right, if it's a normal thing now, if more people are doing it or not. But I can feel the energy in my body. And the energy in my body has expressions through all different aspects. But that energy in my body is me in the energetical aspect. And because it's the energetical aspect, it's my truth. Because energy doesn't lie. Energy is always truth. Energy is the way. Like, energy can't lie. Energy just is. There's no questioning it. So when you feel it, but you must know if you're feeling it, not your ego telling you something, or a fear triggering like an emotion, that's not your intuition. That's your defense mechanism kicking in. You have to be aware of that stuff, right? Anyways, so I lost my flow. So when you damn, it's gone. I don't remember. Anyway, when you get to those points where it's hard to find the balance between staying present and being productive, I guess, right? Because sometimes staying present really does mean that you need to stay still. And this goes back to the beginning again, stillness. Anyways, so if everything is part of the process, the energy, the consciousness, and the physical matter, like the seasons, right? It doesn't just switch from each one to each one. It's a process, and the process from start to finish is the same on every aspect of reality too. So is the process the creator, or is the process just the process of creation? Because if you leave things to happen as they naturally would, they would just happen and everything would be all good. There's no one there to judge it. There's no one there to think about if it's right or wrong. It's just expression. It's expressing itself. It's only when beings like us with this amount of conscious awareness comes in that can say, hey, this is wrong. You know, this dying, that dying is wrong. It's not. It's just part of nature. It's part of existence. It's part of reality, right? But we, as human beings, don't like it because of the way it affects us. The emotions that happen, the changes and experiences that come, like you miss the people, you're sad, all of that stuff. Like, of course, it's hard. It's really hard to process. And to be honest, I've not been too unlucky in that department through life so far. So I haven't fully dealt with it myself to really know. So I can only say it as someone who can only perceive from my limited view of perspective.